What's going on, everyone? So you know, this is a part 2 of 3-part video. If you have not seen part 1 yet, click the card now. Otherwise, enjoy the show.
Welcome to Hotline Sehwani.
One, Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Yes.
That was the following game after Sonic Generations. How did you feel about that?
Drastically underrated, actually. You know what? I actually did not play this until way later after it was like out of relevancy. But I remember playing this just because I think Sega did like a sale on Xbox One, where because you know Xbox One has the backwards compatible, and I would say most of the Sonic games are backwards compatible, but. They did a publisher sale, Sega, and I think episode 2 was like maybe $10. So I said, you know, why not? I have nothing else to play right now. I'm off work for like the entire week. Let me just pick this up and see what's going on. So I played it and I was like, okay, like this is good. Like there was a lot of things I liked about this. Number one, I feel like they fixed it's not perfect, but it's way better than episode 1. They fixed the physics. That's number one. So I feel like the control was a lot tighter. But one thing that I really like, and I kind of wish they would bring this back for future Sonic games, is not only just the focus on cooperative play, but the fact that you had like these moves where it utilizes both Sonic and Tails in one attack. So yeah. I thought the partner moves was extremely innovative, and it kind of, I don't know why, but I kind of felt like that was maybe inspired by Knuckles' Chaotix. But yeah, I really dug Sonic 4 Episode 2. I love the way the game looked. The fact that they brought Metal Sonic back, and you know, why he was kind of in the first one, but not really. But in this game, they kind of focused in on him a little bit more. But yeah, no, I honestly did not find anything really wrong with this game. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I was happy with this game. Especially, I thought all the partner moves were very interesting, and then it was fun. I played this game through with my brother, so we had a good time, you know, playing through this game for sure. I did like that the levels felt a little more inspired. I remember that very first level boss when it kind of opens up with the two totems kind of floating up on each side of the stage, very reminiscent of one of the classic bosses, you know? Mm-hmm. And as soon as they kind of reach the top, it's almost like a troll when, you know, the Eggman plant comes out and hits the totem over. So they kind of did kidding, because I know one of the biggest critiques in the last game where the bosses were basically the same.
Yeah.
And I do wish the partner system would be incorporated in maybe more Sonic games in the future, because one of the things that I do like about Sonic, that I've always liked about Sonic, is, you know, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, I mean, Sonic Mania, player 2 can kind of come on over and pick up a controller and play with you if they wanted to, but at the same time, they're not really playing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sonic 4 Episode 2, it was definitely a big emphasis on they need to work with you, they need to help. What I really liked, they did a remix level of the flying battery in this game, and that was one of my favorite levels of that game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, by no means is the game perfect, but it's definitely, like you said earlier, it is a step in the right direction. And like I said, I enjoyed it. Like, I don't mind Sonic 4 Episode 2. It just kind of sucks that, you know, Episode 3 never came out. I know they were teasing that for a while with Knuckles being included in that, but it just never came out. So.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I always said that there would have been a sequel to that game if it wasn't called Sonic 4 Episode 2, or just Sonic 4 in general.
Yeah.
And they just kind of dropped it ever since.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like it. It's fine.
Yeah. So let's go right to the next game. One of my personal favorites, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I just reviewed this on my channel. I would say like not even a month ago, but yeah, I recently revisited this, and Oh man, this game is great. This arguably, this is probably gonna be, and I told my Twitch followers this too. I think I like this more than Mario Kart 8. Like, if it comes to like, when it comes to like a kart racer that was on the Wii U, at the same time that was on it, I personally just prefer this racing title over it. Like, I love the stage design. I love and I think they may have took this from Diddy Kong Racing a little bit, at least inspired by it, but the changing of the race style mid-race I thought was really cool, and it kept the race interesting. The fact that we got stages, well, more stages from different Sega franchises, everything from Nights into Dreams, which is one of my favorite games of all time, Skies of Arcadia, Panzer Dragoon, Billy Hatcher, like we have all this Sega representation, and again, it felt like a more of a celebration of Sega. And me growing up as a Sega kid, I was in gaming heaven with this one. I love it. It's definitely, I will go ahead and say it's one of the best kart races I've ever played. Like, it's that good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really enjoyed this game. The first level I played on this was it was myself, my brother and a couple of my friends. We were playing it for the first time. And do you remember that afterburner, the carrier zone level?
Oh yeah,
where it starts you off on that giant Navy ship, and you begin driving forward, and you're supposed to fall off of the ship and turn into an airplane, or fall off the ship and turn into a boat. Yeah. And that was just like such a beautiful introduction to this game, because I really enjoyed this game. I like this game a little more. Then it definitely pulled from Diddy Kong Racing, and it pulled from that game, inspired from that game, obviously, and it made it better, because if you want to drive, you can drive, but if the other guy behind you sees a ramp where they can go up and get in an airplane, and they're better doing that, they should. Yeah. And they definitely fleshed out the game. Loved the worlds. Skies of Arcadia level. That level was one of the hardest racing tracks in the game, but yeah. But it's just a great, it was a good callback. I have nothing but good things to say about Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. And also, I remember they included Danica Patrick and Wreck-It Ralph. Yep. So that was kind of an interesting spin. And I, kind of going back to what we said before, this game, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, is skill-based too. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to race. You need to know where you're comfortable, because there were some parts where, I could be driving or I could be in an airplane, and you have to kind of make that educated decision where, hey, I'm better at driving, but the track up ahead is more difficult. I'm not really good at flying, but I know it's a little bit easier way to go. So it kind of kept you on your toes on that way, and I really enjoyed that. I would definitely, I would say I have a lot more fun with it than Mario Kart 8, and it's kind of unfortunate that I really wish I could just pick this up and play online with people all the time, but that's not the case anymore. Yeah. The online is pretty dead. From my understanding, if you have it on PC, there's a community still on the PC version of it. But yeah, I tried to play like an online game on Twitch one time, and it just was non-existent. Just not working. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, one of the best kart racers ever. I love all the Sega-inspired stages. I have no complaints at all.
So let's go into Sonic Lost World.
Oh boy.
This was I know, Sonic 4, Episode 2, and Sonic All-Stars Racing, not really a mainstead Sonic game, following generations. So how did you feel on this game? I think this was also this was around a time when Sega and Nintendo struck a exclusivity deal.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this was the second game, I believe, following one of the Olympus games.
I think Winter Games came out before.
So this was on the Wii U. So how did you feel on this one?
Okay, so I know this is one of the games that some people are split upon, and I'm gonna say this now. I love Sonic Lost World. I think Sonic Lost World is severely underrated by the community. And again, this is a game I just did a review on like 2 weeks ago. So I am fresh off of Sonic Lost World. I got my Wii U hooked up right now. But Sonic Lost World to me was a great title. And I just do not know why people just hate it so much, because I honestly, playing it, I loved it. I you know, just the number one, the art style. I think, again, this may be a very controversial opinion, but you know, that's why we're here, to have the conversation. I think that this is the best Sonic has ever looked. You know, everything from I love the art style, the cartoony. It to me, this game just oozes with charm, and I just love Sonic's model in this game. And I really wish that they would take this art style and use it on another title. But the best Sonic has ever looked. I love the experimentation with the level design. You know, the Lost Hex, you have these levels, depending on which direction you tackle the level in, can alter the way that the game plays or how the level is laid out. Love that. I love the DLC for this level. The DLC for the game. This is the first time we actually...
Knights.
Oh my god, the Knights. Then you have the Yoshi and the Zelda levels, which that collaboration that they did with Sonic Lost World was just mind-blowing at the time. Because I know for a while people want Sega and Nintendo to kind of do like a crossover outside of the Olympus Games series. But when I first played that Zelda level, when I first saw it, mind was blown. Being able to run around an open world, well, I was supposed to say open world, but an open field based off of Hyrule, and seeing Link fly with the Skyward Sword bird, and Sonic having the treasure chest animation, and you getting the Triforce at the end, like all of that stuff is just adds to the charm of the game. I understand, like I get it. You know, some Sonic fans don't really like to see huge departures from an already established formula, but I just really liked it, and I don't have a problem with Sonic having a run button. You know, I feel like with the run button, it allowed me to kind of control Sonic more, so he's not going from 0 to 100. And when they want me to do different sort of platforming challenges, having that sense of control over Sonic's speed really was beneficial. So yes, you can complain about the characterization. I again, just like Sonic Colors, I like the lighthearted story. The Deadly Six, not that really memorable. Overall, as an entire package, I love Sonic Lost World. I have no complaints about it. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are some complaints, but they're not big enough for me to be like,
not big enough for you to complain.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, well, when this game came out, I had... on my opinion, because I agree with you on a lot of, you know, the DLC was really cool, the whole Yoshi DLC and Zelda DLC, and, you know, you had the Knights, and that was, you know, the first time I think Knights had any representation in anything besides the racing games since maybe its own game on the Wii. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think one of the reasons this game kind of received a very... It seems mixed to me, because I know a lot of people liked it, and I know that a lot of people don't like it. So, but a majority of the people have a very meh feeling towards this game, and I think that kind of comes with the game before it, because I think with Sonic Generations, just in the Sonic community overall, people were very hyped and very excited that, you know, there's finally something that seems to have worked, right? Because I think before that you had a lot of experimentation with Sonic leading up to Generations, right? You had the whole Hedgehog stages, and you had the storybook levels, then you kind of had maybe the pseudo classic Sonic game of Sonic 4 Episode 1, and then, you know, leading up to Generations where finally something felt that it had some confidence in it. So then I think the follow-up to that threw people, where they were expecting something different, you know. They were expecting something like, why are we re-experimenting the wheel here? So I think that's where the ill feelings come from. I did like this game because I think it was very reminiscent of, you know, it reminded me of something. If Sonic was on Nintendo, or if, you know, Nintendo had some overseen interest in the IP of Sonic, it would look like this as like a Super Mario Galaxy type game. The story, you're right, I don't think was very memorable, and the whole Deadly Six and everything, but the levels were definitely inspired and fun. And I wasn't a big fan of the run button personally, but I do agree that it did give Sonic some control,
Yes.
which he has lost, modern Sonic at least, since the Sonic Adventure games. That I was recently talking to a friend about, modern Sonic and everything, and I that's what I mentioned. I said one of the great things I liked about the adventure games is you could pick it up and play it, and you could play it at any pace you want. You want to go fast, you can go. You just want to explore the level, you can go. The modern Sonic games is you pick it up and you need to go faster, like you will die. Like that's not how the levels are designed,
Right.
So this game in particular, I think that's kind of why it fell short with some fans, just because there was an expectation for the next step in the direction of Sonic, and this didn't meet anyone's expectations.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
But overall, I don't disagree. I think it was fun in its own sense, and I think it has a charm. But I'm just kind of playing where I understand where some people feel ill will towards it.
I get that too. But yeah, it's overall.
So what was your favorite level in the Sonic Lost World?
Ooh, so the rail grinding levels, I think it's called like Sea Bottom Rouge or something like that. But the music in that, oh my god! So for the music alone, I love the rail grinding sections in that game. I also really, of course, the DLC, the Zelda levels definitely stand out for me. But the Zelda level, the Knights level, I also really enjoyed, and I know some people hate this, but I also really enjoyed the Snowball level, where you control Sonic as a snowball and you go through like these different, ring requirements. Well, I don't think they're ring requirements, but these different checkpoints. I thought those levels were really cool as well. And
they did have some inspired levels. One of the things I do have to say about this game is each level was extremely unique, and each level had a very different charm to it, where it kind of introduced some fun type of gameplay mechanic, and then once you were about to finish the level and go into the next level, you enjoyed it and you had a good time with it. You wish there was more of it in the next one, but it's just specific to that world, so it did make it feel like you were going from world to world to world in that sense. So that was really fun. Yeah, and Sonic games always have good music, except for the next one, Sonic Boom.
So Sonic Boom, as a whole, the series itself, the television series, I don't hate it. I do think Sonic Boom, as far as the television media, is hilarious. Like I do find enjoyment out of the Sonic Boom cartoon.
Here, check my pants.
No. It's okay. I believe you.
Just me.
Now, in terms of the games themselves, with Rise of Lyric in particular, I think this game, and I read some articles from the developers about this, where
it was a nightmare project.
Yeah. Essentially, they were trying to, well, they were told that this game was going to be developed for the PS4, but then I guess for Sega to get out of that exclusivity deal with the Nintendo, they said, hey, let's just throw it on the Wii U. So I guess they had to rush to try to optimize it, and of course, that's always a hassle when you have to downscale what you're really was going to do to fit Wii U's weaker hardware. So I think the game really suffered from that. Honestly, though, I was still, and I know Sonic 06 has its fans. I would play this before Sonic 06.
Really?
I don't. Only because I saw the potential in it. Like I said, okay, I see what they're trying to do. I see that they're trying to make these lush environments and make this more of like an exploration type game versus it being high speed. And I think a lot of people hear the name Sonic and expect it to always be high speed. But with Boom, since it is like a separate thing, a spin-off entirely, I don't mind them using the Sonic name, the Sonic IP to venture into other genres. So if they wanted to make, let's just say like an adventure type, well, more like a exploration type, more in the vein of like Uncharted, Tomb Raider with the Sonic franchise, I think there is ways that you can do that without sacrificing the integrity of the franchise. So I got the vision. I knew what they were trying to do. I said, okay, I can kind of see where they were trying to take this, but it just, the execution just was off. So I don't hate Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Now, as far as the 3DS games, I think those are definitely the better of the lineup.
I agree for sure. I enjoyed those two more than I did Rise of Lyric.
Yeah, for some reason, I kind of got, especially with Shattered Crystal, I kind of got Sonic Rivals vibes from it, you know, with the way the characters will run and the level lays out and stuff like that. But yeah, Sonic Crystal and Fire and Ice, especially Fire and Ice, I think Fire and Ice is definitely the best out of all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Shattered Crystal and Fire Ice, they're fun games. It's not something I would go back and play now, but, you know, when they came out, I had, fun enough to complete them, and it's cool. But as far as Rise of Lyric, I know a lot of people consider it the worst Sonic game ever made. Is not good. We'll say that, due to development hell and, just the poor optimization for the Wii U. But I think in an alternate universe, if this happened to come out on PS4 the way it was originally intended and they had more development time, I think this game had the potential to be something good.
Sure. Yeah, I kind of going into this. So I agree. So off the bat, I do think the show is funny and it's amusing and whatnot. But I think most people, their introduction to Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, and basically the world's introduction to Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, was those teasers of the game. I'm sorry, the Sonic Boom franchise was Rise of Lyric. So I know going into it that, in hindsight now, looking back, you're right, there was a lot of development issues. I remember reading about how the developers actually called CryEngine because there was no CryEngine on the Wii U. So they needed to basically design and develop a CryEngine specifically for the Wii U. And it was the first and last time it was ever used. And Big Red Button basically went under because of this game, because Sega didn't really tell them that they were striking this deal, and they already went really far into the development process. With this game in particular, I know you said before you would play this game over 06. So I have
yes.
It's kind of funny because I have the opposite opinion, but I would say exactly what you would say, but in the reverse. I understand where they were going with it. It didn't work. It was, a riddle, it was a mess. They should have had more development time, all of that. But the reverse side of the coin, only because my one drawback with Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was it just didn't feel like a Sonic game in that sense of, we had the combat levels and everything, which, on itself was fine, but more of the art direction and the style, and, the music was kind of bland. I can't really even remember any track from Sonic Boom that would stick out to me. That what I would be like, oh, wow, that was a good one. And it felt like they kind of reinvented the wheel in that sense. Of what Sonic was. And I felt at least with, Sonic 06, they were kind of going with the direction of what worked with Sonic Adventure. And I know there was a similar kind of story behind, they had development issues, they were pushing two games at once. The Wii came out, they found out that, they couldn't port the game to the Wii because of the hardware, so they split their team, and one part of the team worked on Sonic 06, the other part of the team worked on Sonic and the Secret Rings, and the guy who was leading the Sonic 06 project left and worked on Sonic and the Secret Rings. So there's these games are very similar in that sense, where there's a lot of development issues in the fray, but I think it's a reminder to say you not to kind of always go, willy-nilly with their IP and just kind of pass it out, even though I do think they share some fault of the blame, because that they really kind of duped these guys when making this game. But I like the avenue they were going with it. I think they could have made certain areas of the level more exploratory.
Right.
But I was also kind of hoping when I was playing that game, you know, is there going to be a more traditional level or a more traditional feeling, you know, Sonic experience throughout this, you know? So
Right.
if you went in with the mindset of yes, like I am going to have it, like you're not going to enjoy that game. And I think I enjoyed the handheld ones more because it kind of, one, I think they were more polished. Two, they reminded me more of just some of how we've grown used to seeing Sonic on the handheld. You know, like it wasn't like a successor to Rush, but it kind of looked and felt that way, but with just different mechanics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely, you know, I don't think we'll be seeing any of those games anytime soon, though.
No.
I do think the best form of media out of that game, the whole series, was definitely the show, hands down.
Yeah, the show and also the comic series. From what I hear, I haven't read it myself, but I hear like the comics that I think it's IDW who did it. The ones that they put out wasn't bad either. So you know, I guess something did, like you said, something good did come out of the.
Come out of it, and people enjoyed it. And I also have a grudge from Sonic Boom over Knuckles. That's all my only thing. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the second part of our Sonic retrospective video. Click the recommended video now to watch part 3. And remember to please like and subscribe to Hotline Sehwani and Olympus Gaming.